All righty. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, hi everyone and welcome. My name is Danny Edwards. I'm from the Rotary Club of Duval. Thanks for taking the time to join us tonight. To start, I'd like to thank our talented team for putting this brand new slide deck together. I actually had the opportunity to present it for the very first time this morning to the Kent Sunrise Club. And you will all be very pleased to know that there is no way that I will be keeping you for the entire hour, the gift of time, but we will have plenty of time for questions afterwards, okay? So let me go in, pull up, there it is, perfect. Okay. You know that since last March, Rotarians around the world and right here in the Pacific Northwest have responded to the pandemic by helping others. We've distributed food to students and their families and delivered hot meals to seniors. We've supplied PPE to essential workers and addressed many other urgent community needs exacerbated by COVID. Today, we have another call to action. Promote COVID-19 vaccination efforts. We can do that best by helping our communities see the value of participating in regional vaccination programs as they roll out. This will help us all get back to normal for the benefit of everyone in our communities. Kyle, could you switch to the next slide for me, please? And I will continue to call him Kyle until he finally convinces me that his name is Ryan. So, how can we make a difference? Rotarians are well positioned to undertake this task. We know about the safety and efficacy of vaccines based on our efforts to eradicate polio. So we are well positioned to promote understanding and trust in the COVID-19 vaccines. Add to this the 2,300 Rotarians in District 5030 who can support the various programs in our district, distributing the vaccine to our communities, and there's no doubt to the value of our impact. By putting Rotarians boots on the ground, we can effectively deliver the vaccines to the arms of those requiring inoculation. Now this slide, I think, represents our why. And it does drive me crazy when people read from the slides, but I'm going to do a lot of that today because these slides are really, really important for what our why is. We formed the Vaccine Task Force in response to a call to action from our Rotary International President, Holger Knapp, to get involved with COVID vaccinations. We want to utilize Rotary's knowledge of vaccine safety and efficacy based on our success with polio eradication. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something that's been in the news a lot recently, and that's vaccine hesitancy. Nobody's more surprised than me because we were begging to have these vaccines rolled out as quickly as possible. But what we've started seeing recently is the whole vaccine hesitancy. And truly, as the slide says, it's a hurdle on the road to defeating the COVID-19. But we know that we know from history that it is surmountable. Here's what vaccine skepticism looks like around the world. Next slide, please. In Rwanda, where confidence in vaccines is strong, life expectancy has risen by more than 33% over 2 decades, an achievement credited largely to widespread vaccination. Getting back to normal requires trust in vaccinations. Now, we want the talents and time of each Rotarian to make a difference in getting us back to normal by efficiently supporting the vaccination programs. There's a reason why Rotarians are known as people of action. It's because we roll up our sleeves. Then we get the job done, and we lead by example. It's this sense of service that prompted Kathy Gibson, our district governor, to call for Rotarians to make a difference in District 5030 when she formed the Vaccine Task Force to address this critical need in our communities. Let's go to slide 4, please. The good news is there are many ways that Rotarians can play a part to help District 5030 to get back to normal by combating this powerful growing force of vaccine resistance and misinformation. We simply need to tell our story. And moving to the slide, thought this was fascinating. On the other end of the spectrum, low vaccination rates in France are believed to have contributed to a 2017-2018 measles outbreak. And we had a very similar measles outbreak here in the United States. Now, again to the slide, Rotarians can make a difference. We have 2,300 Rotarians in District 5030 who can support our vaccination efforts. Our task force will promote the value of vaccines. We will encourage Rotarians to get vaccinated. We will look to Rotarians to support the vaccination efforts, and we will promote vaccinations across the district and beyond to accelerate getting back to normal. You may notice that I keep going back to that. That's kind of the theme of what we're talking about today, getting back to normal. Doesn't that just sound great? Every Rotary Club and every Rotarian within those clubs can motivate those that they know about getting vaccinated. Invite speakers to your club programs to tell members about the benefits of vaccines now available to us. Each Rotarian must tell their vaccine story, demonstrating the value through action that they place on getting back to normal. Clubs can promote these stories via social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, using photographs of the moment with the tags hashtag Rotary Responds and hashtag People of Action to increase visibility. And if we could go to the next slide, please. Working with partners. Seek partners at your local level with governments, corporations, and foundations to support Rotary's activities at the district level. Connecting with partners to support district and community-wide communication, and linkage to corporate initiatives, establishing opportunities for our members to work with their companies in promoting campaigns. Social media can also be used to spread positive information about immunizations. When Ukraine experienced a polio outbreak, Rotarians and other global partners successfully mobilized parents to speak directly to other parents about vaccine safety online. If we could go to the next slide, please. Rotary's advocacy in our communities is vital and will be underpinned by the Vaccine Task Force in District 5030, spreading the message for the vaccines to fight COVID-19. The Vaccine Task Force will help promote and coordinate the activities of our Rotarians as we all support the vaccination programs. Our first action in this regard was to build our website, rotarycovidresponse.org. This website provides up-to-date information on COVID-19, the opportunities to volunteer, to identify partners who can work with us in the mission, support outreach to District 5030 clubs. We also incorporated a search tool that will help others find vaccines available to them. And if we can move to the next slide, please. By continuing to build trust, share fact-based information, and have conversations with our loved ones, we can achieve a historic mass vaccination effort and end the pandemic for good. I think I might be on the wrong slide. I apologize. I'm on slide 7. There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that. That was on me. So join us, make a difference. We're engaging with Rotarians to support volunteer requirements in the delivery of vaccinations in the community. We're working to establish a network of healthcare experts who can educate clubs on the value of vaccines via their programs. Support our messaging to support rollout within the club's community, social media, points of engagement, etc. Telling our story, Rotary's heritage of vaccine support and its impact. Okay, next slide, please. This is what I was looking forward to. Introducing District 5030's Vaccine Task Force. So I'm the newest member of the Vaccine Task Force, but I'd like to first off introduce our fearless leader, Kai Pedersen. He's basically kind of running the show for us and is the driving force. Kai, would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Certainly, thank you, Danny. Kai Pedersen, Bellevue Breakfast Rotary and District Governor Designate, and I guess I'm also the Assistant Governor for Area 8. So having fun taking on this task as well, which for me has been a tremendous effort of working with the team and ultimately getting the word out about vaccines and how we can get back to normal.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And next on our list, I don't know whether Chris is here with us today, but our PR and media person is Chris Nakia and does a phenomenal job. Is Chris here?
No.
Okay.
Not seeing Chris.
That's okay, but you know what? I know Mike England is, and Mike England is in charge of our partnerships, coordinating our partnership outreach and connecting them to District Club Task Force. Mike, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Danny. And I want to start by telling what an incredible job Chris has been doing, creating the website and all the technical stuff he's doing, and taking the credit, bringing him on as a Rotarian. That's might be one of my best things I've ever done. But that's really about it. So my job in partnerships is to connecting us Rotarians with other people who can partner in these efforts. And we've got some different groups that have Toastmasters is one of our best examples that have offered just let us know how we can help. And they are public speakers, so they can speak to what we're trying to share, which is that let's get everybody vaccinated. And we've got several other groups, we have other Rotary districts that are engaged, as well as chambers of commerce, like the Bellevue Chamber of Commerce. And I'm kind of excited that the Urban League is also, expressed an interest in joining up with us. So just we're reaching out. So what I thought was the coolest part is that Rotarians are really connected with our communities, and that's where our outreach can come, which is why we have Danny as really a core part of this whole program.
Well, thank you very much for that, Mike. That was kind of high praise, but I have to tell you, I think I need to get with some of those Toastmaster people because I could use a little work on this whole public presentations thing. Finally, we have Mary Kay Voss. She's in charge of our volunteers, and that's coordinating Rotarians and other community volunteers to provide vaccine support in their local communities. And I don't think that Mary Kay is here either.
No, she's not. But I can certainly talk to her efforts. She's been doing a tremendous job, particularly with Snohomish County, where she's worked closely with the providers and getting volunteers to come in and support their efforts there. So that's certainly been a hallmark of her success, and she continues to look for other opportunities. Unfortunately, not here to speak for herself, but I can't say enough about the contributions she's already made here.
Thank you, sir. I would absolutely echo that. Mary Kay has just done a phenomenal job in terms of really helping us to coordinate how we can help volunteer to provide that vaccine support. So you see, the task force is driven by a team of Rotarians coordinating the activities required by the task force's mission. That mission is to direct volunteers to locations where they can help support vaccinations, respond to club requests for information to learn more about the value of vaccines, and engage with partners who are looking for help from Rotarians as they deliver the vaccines into the arms of our citizens. So, can we go to the next slide, please? I just wrote down Ryan on a sticky note so that I will quit calling him Kyle. So, how to act. All the task force asks from you is, what can you do to make a difference? How will you reflect on your impact to help us get back to normal? If you want an answer to those two questions, then check out rotarycovidresponse.org. There you'll be able to join us in making the difference to get back to normal. How to act. Sign up as a volunteer through our website. Invite our team to speak to your club about our campaign. Introduce us to partners in the community looking for support in their vaccination efforts. Tell your story via our blog or through social media using hashtag People of Action and hashtag Rotary Response. We get those going viral, and lots of people that are clicking on that hashtag are seeing all of our stories. And finally, get vaccinated yourself so that we can all get back to normal. So one more slide. So I'm speaking to you from my office here at Edward Jones Investments in Duval, and I thought this would be great to be able to click on this Our PSA video and show the video. Unfortunately, my firewalls here prevent me from showing YouTube videos, but make sure that you go to our website, rotarycovidresponse.org, or the District 5030 website, where you'll also see a link to be able to go to our PSA video. And last slide, Ryan. Thank you so much for being a part of this vital effort. Thank you so much for putting up with me as your presenter this evening. And I'd love to open it up for questions that anyone might have. JP.
Danny, I'm sorry, Howard.
No,
I
go
came
ahead.
first.
Sorry.
Mary Kay, does she have a medical background?
No, Mary Kay, medical background. She's a she's got tremendous project management skills, though. And so
Administrator.
she does.
Okay.
She's able to coordinate between you know, a number of bodies in support of the volunteer call to action. So she's kind of lent in there and has made a difference.
Got it.
And she has a passion.
We have a member of Lake Forest Park, retired physician with a lot of spunk. And she set up and ran the Rotacare Clinic in Lake City Way for a decade and a half or something like that. And I think she's had a year off. She handed it over to UW Med School. And we're still supporting the Rotacare Clinic. But I think she's had some time off. This might be right up her alley and could keep her off the street, you know. Those retired medical doctors, they start writing prescriptions and, you know, just downhill from there.
Well, we are going to count.
Is Mary Starkabaum. So if you would call Danny, Mary Starkabaum, and tell her that I threw her under the bus.
See, you saw me about to volunteer you, didn't you? And so you threw me under the bus. That's awesome, though. If you can get me her contact information, I would love to reach out to her and point out that you did, in fact, volunteer her for her.
I'm making a strong recommendation.
I like the way you say that.
She's a wonderful gal. She's also on our international services. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Howard.
Howard,
No, I
you're
was
up, my
just waiting
friend.
for you to get finished. Sorry. So very interesting. I really am enjoying this. I had a question from Mike England. It says here that he is coordinating partnership outreach. And I'm curious, what partnerships have you done so far, if any, outside of Rotary? If you could bring us up to date on that.
Yeah, so thanks to the help of basically of our Rotarians, so we have the Bellevue Chamber of Commerce has agreed to work with us. So far what I've done is send people to our website and ask them to click in to be a partner. I've had conversations with a lot of the Toastmasters is our number one, I think, that has totally agreed to partner with us in a lot of ways and be involved in that. And we've also reached out to other districts to engage with them. So my main hope is to partner through our Rotarians and their connections directly.
So when you mention the Bellevue Chamber of Commerce, I'm on the Seattle side, and we have the Downtown Seattle Association. I'm involved in that organization, as well as the Seattle Police Foundation. And what would they do to get involved and partner? Like how would we bring Rotary into that picture?
So we've pivoted a little on the idea of getting more volunteers tied in. And what we're talking about now is more of the public image aspect. So really we're going to start setting up meetings and asking our partners to join with us in meetings to discuss what we're doing so that they can then spread the word.
Well,
And
I
it's
will,
worth-
I'll make some contacts with both the head of the Downtown Seattle Association and the Seattle Police Foundation and send them your way. I'll
That's
do
awesome.
it and see maybe we can do something with those organizations. Have we done anything at all with the Lions and the Kiwanis at all? Have we have any interest in doing that?
Well, the challenge right now, and I just want to add, is that we are working with Al Mayberry as a proposal where they're going to take on the website development. Our goal is to, first of all, embed our existing partners with the Bellevue Chamber, I know Vashon Island Chamber, and then also Toastmasters and Districts 5100 and 5110 into the website and get those up and running. We've definitely reached out to the Snohomish Fire and Rescue. Of course, we'd love to have others come on board. And part of that is going to be driven by the work that we want to do in terms of modernizing the website, particularly for social outreach. So we kind of write once and have it distributed many times through the district and websites, through other websites, and engage people in really helping us with the communication of the importance of vaccinations. One of the things that we're beginning to realize is we have a fine balance with respect to the campaign. A lot of people are getting their information from social media, so they're no longer going to the traditional media channels like TV, radio, etc., to hear updates. And to be honest with you, they're also tending to switch off from those avenues because they feel like they're being lectured, or they're not. They have what I call a healthy disrespect for authority. Which is not unusual. We've been in lockdown for a long time, and there isn't really a clear path of how do we exit out of this. So it's important for us to engage in a conversation around an aspiration. That aspiration is how do you get back to normal and appeal to people's sense of fair play, particularly where there are deeply rooted cultural values at play. And so, you could go in with the best educated individual with all the facts, but that's not going to overcome somebody's philosophical or deeply held views, whether that be religious, political, or whatever. But what you can appeal to is a person's sense of fair play and what's beneficial to all. And you'll notice I'm being very deliberate in the language here. It ties right back to the four-way test. And Rotarians, in applying that four-way test and abstracting themselves away from the more, should we say, topical discourse, can actually build trust and can have people make a decision to switch. Now, not everyone's going to tell you their story. Not everyone's going to be open to sharing if they got the vaccine or not, and that's okay. That's their choice, by the way, and it's perfectly reasonable to live with that point of view and have that choice. But if we can convince people who do want to be a part of the change that gets us to the herd immunity, then this is the way I think we have to appeal. And that's why I want to build up a partnership across a broad spectrum of agencies and businesses so that we can soften the message and really get people more engaged around the idea of being vaccinated, and to ultimately get us back to normal and move the agenda forward for our that whole idea of normalcy again.
So Danny, this is
Yes.
Diane.
Hi, Diane.
How are you? Who do we ask to get a speaker for our clubs? Do we ask you?
Apparently that would be me.
Okay, got it.
We were
How long a presentation should I tell them you're going to have?
When I presented this morning to the Kent Sunrise Club, I explained to them that ordinarily I'm not the main speaker. I'm sort of the call to action 10, 15 minutes guy. Let me have your Zoom really quick so that I can run through the slides in that. And that worked out very well, but they actually had me scheduled to be the speaker. So we had quite a few minutes left over for a question and answer. And this is really, really helpful because, again, this morning was the first time that I used this new slide deck, and it's awesome. That's Kind of the reason that our team is so great, because they really put together a great presentation.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Thanks.
I've been working in the recently with the Southeast Seattle Senior Center, and they have been very instrumental in acquiring folks to go and get vaccinated. And they're setting up, they were one of the primary forces that were setting up the Rainier Beach vaccination site and sending tons of people down there. Brian, I don't know how many people from our club have actually gone down there, but there have been a whole bunch of them. And I would like to figure out how to connect the Southeast Senior Center with, to become a partner with Rotary effort.
It's a great idea. Great idea.
So the way to go about that would be Mike, who's down there, will connect with you, Steve, and get the communication going, and then we would more than happily discuss opportunities for partnership.
I just wanted to take a moment, Steve, to let you know that there is a brand new Rotary Club that is currently being formed, and it's going to be called the Southeast Seattle Rotary Club, and it's going to be based in Southeast Seattle, and they would probably love that as one of their first projects. So I can get you the president's name and have you speak with them. We have a COO for next year. His name is Connor Talbot out of the Des Moines Normandy Park Club, and he's kind of my right hand. So I can give him your information, and he will be back in touch with you to see if maybe there's a way we can get that club started down there.
Okay, and then Mike, you and I need to connect so I can give you the information for this. So if Howard and Mike, if you want to hang on after this meeting, and we can just share some information.
You bet.
So, okay, yes, Bev.
Thank you. One of our Rotarians is a registered nurse as well as a certified site for vaccinations, COVID vaccinations. So just wondering how I could coordinate the two to support both at the interest.
Yeah, absolutely. We would get you in touch with Mary Kay Voss. So if you want to reach out to me, Bev, through email, I'll set that up.
Oh, thank you.
I'll share my email in the chat as well to make it easy.
You know, as a side note, I felt it was very interesting today that we dodged a bullet by this much. We were probably in King County set to slide back to phase 2, and Pierce County could possibly have even slid back to phase 1. And the economic fallout of something like that could have been dramatic. And yet, I thought that the governor did a really good thing. He said, look, we're going to give you 2 weeks. There are plenty of vaccines out there now. We're on the right track. Let's just get going. And I think some of those naysayers to a certain extent might be thinking, okay, I don't want to go back to phase 2. Let's just get it done. There is so much more upside potential than there is downside risk. And the people that are going through this vaccine hesitancy, I don't think that I just think that they're overplaying the risk compared to the potential reward of getting this behind us and getting, say it again, back to normal. So any other questions that we can think of? The gift of time. So we're going to end a little bit early. I want to thank Ryan. God golly, I mean, I couldn't have done this without you and the entire team. I mean, we've got a phenomenal team, and we're looking forward to all of you joining our team. So thank you again. Hope you all have a Mike.
I had a question. Danny, I'm going to be in Duval tomorrow. Are you around? Can we have lunch?
You know what? I will be here tomorrow.
Did I say that right? Duval?
You did, Duval. You know when people say, I'm going to be in Duval. You have never lived in Duval. It's Duval.